Good morning, good morning. Oh, that's fine. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. Sorry, I needed to back that up. I've not taken any trades yet. You can see I'm having a little data lag issue right now. I was not having that before I got on the stream. Pretty volatile open this morning. I am going to be trying something a little different. As you can see, I have the signals back on. It's kind of annoying that the market is moving this fast right now though, because you've been pretty trash for days. Why do you want to do this now when I'm trying something new? Well, I'm not really trying something new, but I'm trying something a lot more simplified than what I was doing before. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? So yeah, we're gonna try it. We're going to try it. Oh, I forgot to get water. Actually, let me get water and then I'll start. Hold on. No trades so far. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? Yeah, I saw that we had a pretty volatile open. Yeah, so what I'm going to be trying to do today, let me make sure I turn my copier off. I'm only going to trade the TPT account because that renews like next Saturday or something like that. So, not that the account doesn't matter because obviously it does. But because that renewal is coming up, I'm willing to experiment a little bit with it. So basically, I'm trying to, you guys know, my goal this entire time has been to try to simplify this as much as I can while still having, a pretty decent win rate. But I've just been feeling like something is still just too complicated, I guess. I don't know. So I've gone through with the most simplified version of this that I can. And we'll see what happens. All right, yeah. Because I feel like I'm not getting enough setups in a day, which is a problem for me. So, especially when we have the really consolidated days where we keep trading inside of the zone, and that is actually driving me crazy. Now, if I was still getting enough trades, I wouldn't really care, but something's got to give. And so we're going to see what we can come up with. So I basically only have like 5 very simple rules, which I kind of rather not have it on this sheet of paper though. But yeah, really simple rules, and we'll see what happens. You see, I was too high, so you elected to trade on Sim. It's going to trade though, but at least now I can do it on the funded period. At least you still tried it out. But yeah, this market is just being a little crazy. Just a tad bit much. I really want to kind of wait for it to slow down a little bit, because number one, I don't want to have data lag while I'm trying to get into the trade, and number two, my brain is not going to work this fast today. So I initially was going to actually I should have done that. Probably should have done that. I was gonna throw my half trend back on in the process of doing this, because I was looking at that last night, and basically just taking pullbacks to the half trend. But to be honest with you, because of the way that the half trend is, pretty much every reversal bar, except like maybe if we're in an uptrend and we're having like really shallow like couple of bar pullbacks, most of them are gonna touch the half trend anyway. So yeah. Yeah. But I think I've kind of figured something out. So we're gonna test it today. When I went through yesterday's data, I would have had like 11 trades versus how many did I actually take yesterday? I took 5. One of them was invalid, so I manually broke even. So I took 4. I would have had 11 trades instead, and it would have been 7 wins, no losses, 3 break evens, and 1 trade where I wouldn't have gotten filled. So I'm going to try to do the simplified version of this. I know I'm going to mess up a little bit, and I'm already aware of that, and I'm okay with it. So I'm just preparing myself for that part. I'm going to journal that trade later. Definitely, definitely. That way, if you have more days where the ATR is really high, you're good and you kind of know how to adjust if you still want to trade it. Very tired. Need to order some ginkgo and ginseng. Well, baby, I need whatever you got going on because I have too much energy. I didn't even get to take a nap yesterday. Well, I did, but it wasn't until like way late. So I took a really short nap because I didn't have time early in the day. And my nephew was coming over. He has pictures today, so they wanted me to refresh his hair, even though I just did it on Sunday. So I wasn't asleep more than maybe like 20 minutes, and then he was on the way. And then I was so tired that I ended up falling asleep again for like maybe an hour, if that, question mark. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. So I was up for a very long time last night. Just know that much. Just know that much. YM run up from the low to the high. Ooh-wee. 550 to 916. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm not going to take any counter trend divergence. We're going to start there. Which honestly, I only cared about counter trend divergence because I'm not getting enough trades with the trends, right? So the goal is to try to get enough regular schmegular trades where I don't feel like I need to do that. That's the goal. Hold on, I'm gonna get a piece of paper so I can rewrite these really quick rules on it so I don't have this big notebook in front of me. Hold on. But yeah, we're gonna try to make this as simple and basic as possible while still hoping to maintain a pretty decent win rate. So let me just rewrite this real quick. There's just a certain amount of space I'm used to having in front of me, and I don't have it right now. And it's gonna drive me crazy. All right, I think we're good to go. Yeah, should be good to go. All right, so here are going to be some of my rules. When I'm trading, the point of control needs to be a continuation, meaning if I'm getting into buys, buyers need to be in control of the point of control. Unless the delta is efficient, because then it'll say like, yeah, they're basically having an attempt to effectively trap the other side. Okay. If the point of control is a continuation and the delta is not efficient, it's okay as long as there's a signal attached to it. That's going to be another rule. I'm trying to think. Volume needs to be efficient pretty much almost all the time. And there's only like 1 or 2 combinations that just will not work no matter what. So we're going to try this out. Okay. Yeah, we're going to try it out. Let's see. Support levels right here. We do have the speaker speaking right now at 8:55. Hopefully things slow down just a little bit so my brain can catch up. And then we do have natural gas at 9:30. Speaking of, I don't even remember. Did I write down that news? Oh, yeah, I did. All right, now I'm clear to trade. Pretty sure, yeah. So I was trying to figure out why sometimes the delta is not efficient, but things still work out, and it's because there's a signal behind it. So you can see that the delta's pink on both ways. We're selling at support, which is no problem. But when it looks like this, where it's pink instead of red, it doesn't look efficient. But if you look down here, there were 2 delta signals that fired off. There's the delta sweep, which is the stripe, and then there also was a, what is that, a trap? Yeah, trapped traders. All right. I just needed to see it in real time as well. I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. Now I'm probably right now, I'm going to stay away from the heavier volume swings like this. 156 is greater than 102. I'm just going to stay away from it right now. At least for the pullbacks. If it's divergence, it's a little bit different. Still too much volatility for my liking. This is crazy. The fact that we recovered this whole move is crazy. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? You know what? I need to see. Hold on. Damn, I don't think I wrote it. Oh, it was the 16th. All right, I'm good then. All right. What is the ATR? This is crazy. This current 5-minute bar is like that a 66-point range. We've barely been getting a 50-point opening range. Now whole bars want to be 66.6. What was let's see. $84 points, 95 points, 114 points, 93 points, 74 points. No trades for me today. No setups in London / pre-market. Yeah, I came into today like, all right, I'm about to try something where I'm like super duper extra super duper simplified, which is great, but not when the market's doing this. Not when the market's doing this. Okay. I just want a little bit of a slowdown. That's all I ask. That's a hell of a push down. Yeah. The push down, the push back up, it's all crazy right now. All of it. I mean, just look at this. Bar closes and runs 60 ticks in like 2 seconds. Let's see, 2 seconds. 60 ticks in 2 seconds. How are we supposed to trade that? We ain't. But yeah, what I'm gonna do today and tomorrow is try this out. No counter trend divergence. Counter trend pullbacks are fine. And trading with these is very simple, straightforward rules. And after sitting and looking at them, I'm like, this kind of makes sense. It's pretty much what I've been seeing all this time anyway. But yeah, it's just too many trades are being filtered the way that I was trading before. With the really strict combinations. It's just too strict. Not getting enough trades in a session, which over time is just not good. Which signal is that? Oh, that's why. But yeah, we just don't like that. So we're just gonna do a little experimenting. Just a tad. Fed cut, rate cut, consolidated the market's futures. 7 points away from being 500 points up since the open. That's insane. Insane. All right, we're back in the 30-minute range. Which, if I zoom out, you guys can see we tried to break it, came down, tried to break it again, came right back down. Like, I just don't want to get caught in no bullshit. Damn. Well, I was just about to put my order in right there when it came back up right here. Just gonna put it in right there. I would have caught it on time if I didn't zoom backwards. I couldn't remember what the volume was up in the last swing. Gold is giving a setup and close that charts, close that charts. Well, that was a setup, but couldn't take it. It closed way too fast. And it would have won too. Fuck, man. Just slow down a little bit. Jeez. 52 point gold on NOI open. 46 points. Oh, 52. Ay, ay, ay. What a day. I should have already known because when I logged in, the volume for the day was already so high. Is that the open? So high. Point of control at the open of the bars right here. Looks like it might close down. It's not supposed to be a plus sign there. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I don't like that. Y'all see how it showed I was still in the trade when it came back to the break even level, but I was not actually in the trade anymore. All right, I was able to catch that. That was just a nice little divergence. Delta was super efficient, which is fine because of the volume being heavier on the swing up. Like, my goal is just to catch a couple of those a day. Not too much. But if I can catch a couple, if I can be like plus 2 or 3 trade, like I'm factoring in losses and everything. If I could be plus 2 or 3 trades per day, I ain't asking for much. I don't need to make thousands of dollars per day. I just want setups. That's it. That's all. Is that too much to ask for? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And I'm still going to journal like the divergence trades and stuff because maybe the counter trend divergence, because maybe I'll add it back in. But for now, we're good. We're good. And there's a couple of reasons why. That was hella that was hella fast. Let me see how long that trade was. Oh, 7 seconds. I feel like it was quicker than that. Yeah. So here's my biggest reason why I don't care much about getting the counter trend divergence trades, especially if I'm getting enough either trades with a trend or counter trend pullbacks. Because, you know, with counter trend divergence, you can trade it properly and do just fine. That's one of the reasons why I don't trade counter trend divergence at new highs and lows, because it's literally just trying to catch a falling knife, right? Like, there's no structure there for the day, so you're just hoping that, you know, order flow patterns just work out. But for me, at least with like counter trend pullbacks, the structure is already showing that a reversal could be happening. Like, we're in a downtrend, sure, but this reversal can actually push the market up. You know what I mean? Because we're at a higher low. So at least with the counter trend pullbacks, structure is already showing that it's trying to change. Whereas with counter trend divergence, not so much. I actually could have gotten into this buy. Sellers were in control, so it was a trap. The delta was efficient. That was a perfect setup. The only reason I didn't get into it is because if I could show you guys. I'll zoom out. You see the zigzag detached itself. So I don't know the true volume of this swing. And usually I will mark it out like this, but the market's moving too freaking fast. So I don't know what the actual volume is. So I'm just not going to trade it. So anyway, yeah, so I feel like if I just trade the pullbacks going with the trend and counter trend and then do trend divergence, that most of the patterns should work out just fine without me having to be super strict with my rules. I just want volume to stay low in the bar. A lot of times you would think, and I think even ChatGPT told me the same thing. Like you want volume in the bar to be really high because it's showing you effort. Actually, it's the complete opposite. You don't want volume to be really high in your reversal bar because that's showing that it's taking too much effort to reverse the market. Because remember, on my 20 tick chart, every reversal bar is 40 ticks. So it's just showing that like it took way too much effort just to reverse the market 10 points. So that's not a good thing. There's only like 2 situations where it makes sense for it to be that way. So the majority of the time, it's not going to be a good thing. And so keeping that in mind, keeping in mind that delta efficiency is important, but there are times where the market we're not going to have efficient delta, but there's going to be a delta sweep or some other kind of delta signal to signify that like, yo, delta wasn't efficient because there was a lot of liquidity there moving through absorption zones, liquidity zones or whatever. And so delta isn't looking great, but there's some kind of signal to signify that like it's still a strong signal basically. But yeah, I'm just going to keep those little simple rules in play. I literally only have 5 basic rules on my piece of paper. That's it. And I'm going to use that for each of the setups instead of the setups being like separated kind of thing. But let me put that at the top. Yeah. But we're going to try it out. Simplicity is key. Yeah. I think like I was telling my mom, my brain I'm so analytical that I naturally overcomplicate things before I simplify it. And I'm not even mad about it because the biggest thing is in order for me to learn how the market was moving the way that it moved, I had to be complicated. Like I got to learn things. So I overcomplicate it in the process of learning how things work. And then eventually I just start stripping things away because now that I understand how the market works a little bit better, some of the patterns that show up and things like that, it's like, okay, I have all of these different components. These are the things that matter and these are the things that don't, based off of me looking at the same thing happening every single day, for an hour and some change every single day. This is what I notice happens. This is what I notice don't happen. If this happens, I know I'm gonna lose, those kind of things. And I feel like I wouldn't have been able to pick up on some of that had I not completely overcomplicated things in a way that was annoying the fuck out of me. I just wouldn't have. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. For me, the experience is key, honestly. It really is. All right. There was no signal there. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Good morning, Pred. How are you this morning? All right, now I can look again. All right, the market seems like it's trying to slow down just a little bit. Maybe. Maybe just a tad. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, I wish. Can I put the. I want to look at something. Price action swing pro. Let me center this real quick. I want to see if with the indicator that shows me the volume of the swings and stuff, I want to know if there is an option to show how much time is in each swing. Integers. Maybe it's integer. No. That's just showing me the time at the close of the bar, which is different. I might end up putting that on later. Then I can quickly see how long each swing is. Experience is priceless. Absolutely, I 100% agree. 100%. Especially when you are truly trying to learn and master this in whatever capacity you're trying to master it. You have to have chart time. I don't care what anybody says. Because I agree that, like, even if somebody teaches you something, like they teach you a strategy that works, right? Unless they do a really good job of teaching you, like, all right, this is my setup and this is why. Like teaching you the nuances, all of the background information, you know, whatever data they've gathered based off of experience and time and data collection. Like, hey, I take this setup and this is why. A lot of times you're going to end up not even like you'll just end up kind of veering off because it's like, oh, well, that was a really good swing right there. And that wasn't a setup. So why? I'm going to try to take this next time I see it pop up. And it might work the next 2 times and then lose the next 7. And you're trying to figure out why. Well, you need to get the experience in the chart time to see why certain patterns work and don't work over time. And for me, that's all I want. I just want to be able to take like 5 to 7 trades a day with like a 75% win rate, 70 to 75% win rate. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's asking for much, especially with my negative risk to reward ratio. That still drives me crazy just a little bit, just a tad. I think that was the highest one. Oh, there's some consolidation going on in here though. What are we, 5 minutes out from news? This is like some very weird patterns right here. That's not normal. You know what? That's what I might have to do. Yeah, let's try that. So what I noticed back here, right? Buyers were controlled, so it was an attempt to trap. It did not go far. This was the buyer's attempt to trap the sellers. It did not go far either. So buyers were in control of the point of control here. Sellers were in control of the point of control there. And the delta was efficient on both. But here is the issue. There's no delta signal on either of those. So I think when there's an attempt to trap, there needs to be a signal. And there's 5 signals that I'm okay with trading right now. Delta sweeps, rises, drops, flips, and trap traders, I think is what I'm gonna stick to. So yeah, I think when we have an attempt to trap, it needs to be a delta signal attached. 59, 69, 71. I think we're gonna do that. 20 tick chart. Yeah, Janelle. I am gonna stick to the 20 tick chart just because this little volatility right now is real cute and real nice. However, let's think about how effed up Nasdaq has been consistently lately. So if I increase the bar size, I'm gonna hold myself big time. Big time. All right. So oh, it ended up being a continuation. That's what I wanted. It was an attempt to trap so many times, and then it ended up being a continuation. All right. And it worked out. I would have gotten filled on like this bar right here. Damn. Okay. 539. All right, there's a push up instead. And there's a data lag. Natural gas numbers just came out. Got 2 minutes left before I could start trading again. I am going to trade all the way to 10 o'clock like I said yesterday. Oh, look at my baby. He just so handsome. I just love him. He is so mean. Y'all, oh wait, I can't even see myself. Oh yeah. Look how mean he is. He's just such a mean little kid. Why is he making that face, y'all? Why? When he was over here last night while I was doing his hair, I asked him what he was doing in school or what he had did in school yesterday. He was like, I was playing with my friends. So he started naming his friends or whatever. I said, well, is TT your friend? He was like, yes. I said myself. So then I asked him if my mom was his friend. And he's like, yes, everybody is my friend. I said, well, is Granny? Well, he calls her mama. I said, is Granny your friend? He said, I said everybody's my friend. He was so over me. He is super cute. I love him, but he just so mean. Ugh. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him, child. I don't know. A hot mess is what he is. All right, volume's heavy in this swing down. Now we are inside of the consolidation zone, which I do not care about right now. I'm actually going to attempt to trade inside of it if things set up properly. Yes. One thing I do wish that I could do with this particular indicator is turn off, like in the footprint summary table, I wish I could turn off the signals that I don't care about. That would be nice. That would be really nice. I pushed up a little too far. I was hoping that we could sell off of yesterday's low. There's a support level there as well. It's not his fault you don't understand what You're right. Because he did tell me everybody. I just wanted to make sure he really meant everybody. That's all. I said everybody. He is so adorable though. I measured his hair yesterday, y'all. He ain't small head, bald head by any means. You hear me? His hair is about 16 inches long. I do need to trim it. I'm probably gonna trim it next time I do it though. But yeah, his hair has grown so long. And I think I've been doing his hair now for a year and a half. My goodness. Oh, that sucks. This bar will close right on the green line if it closes up. Now, when I first started doing his hair, he definitely needed a major trim, but his hair was shorter, you know, obviously. And so I didn't want to take too much off of it. So I didn't trim his hair for the first time until like in June. But he's due for another one. Even though, you know, I braid his hair all the way to the ends because of how soft and fine his hair is. You know, I can't braid all the way to the end. I have to kind of like twist it. And so it comes undone a little bit. It does look cute when it's like that, but that and his ends were just so damaged when I first started doing them. So now that it's as long as it is, it's time to probably like every 3 months cut like an inch of it off. Because this hair grows about maybe like 3/4 of an inch a month, up to an inch a month. So yeah, it's time to start cutting away at it a little bit till it's fully healthy. He has probably like about 4 inches of hair that needs to go. Because before I started taking care of it, I don't know, he just, yeah, it just wasn't being maintained in the best way possible for his hair to thrive. So you need your cut and color again. What color is your hair, Amelia? Way too lazy to make the appointment and go. I feel that. Sometimes aren't those color services like, don't they take a long time? I only dyed my hair I think once, and I had like a honey blonde kind of color. And about a year later, I cut all of it off again because I cut all of my relaxer off and I only had about this much hair. So then I dyed it because I always had like a lighter brown color hair anyway, especially like if I go out into the sun, it's kind of like my eyes. My eyes are not dark brown. Um, but anyway, and so part of my hair color being as light as it was just because of the relaxer, because my hair still isn't like dark. I usually have to get a number 4, like if I use any kind of extensions in my hair, which I don't ever do. But yeah, a year after I cut it all off and dyed it, I cut it all off again and I said I wasn't gonna dye my hair anymore. And I haven't. I haven't even used any temporary color. My hair is just it's so fine. It's so easy to damage. Oh, that's a pretty significant bar actually. Oh, 409. Every time I feel like we're slowing up a little bit, we just have another burst of energy. Like, what the? But I've kind of feel if I got in there, I would have. Dark brown. Usually you color it medium brown. You started turning gray when you were 22. He was all white by 35 or 40. So white last year is cute, but it definitely ages you. Yeah, I think like people who don't like wrinkle early and things like that, sometimes they can still look very youthful with their gray, especially if they have like a really good skincare routine and things like that. But it still ages you to a certain extent. I started getting gray when I was, I think, 15 or 16. Um, and there are times where and I don't know if this is like some kind of vitamin deficiency or something, but there are times when a gray hair will pop up, but it's like starting to gray from the ends, but I know like the previous week that wasn't there. So I don't know why that happens. Because it'll end up turning back the correct color at some point. It's very awkward. I don't know. My body just does all kinds of crazy mess. Um but yeah, I have grays in the front. I got them just all over, but I started graying early, like in the middle of my head though. What a push. How nice. Um, that doesn't matter. Oh my God. Don't, please. I'm gonna get stopped out. I pressed the button a second time because I actually did not want to be in the trade. The delta turned inefficient. Oh my God, that's so annoying. Killing me now. Now I'm negative for no reason. Great. All right. All right. Let's see if I can get, let me see something. Oh yeah, that's also a problem. I don't, with divergence, I prefer when the zigzag is the opposite color of what I'm going. So I'm going for a sale. I don't really like when the zigzag's already red. Damn it. I literally did not think the bar closed already when I hit it a second time. That's all right. Just get into the market. A little green had to take the kid to her grandma. Love salt pepper hair, especially healthy looking hair. Absolutely. All right. I hope I can get another trade to like make up for that. That just pissed me off. So annoying. Yeah, it does. That just made me so mad. And because of how quick it makes it worse that I was selling at yesterday's low and support, which that's not the problem. I do that all the time. That's not the issue. But because of that, that's why the market just bounced right up before I could even attempt to get out of it. But it's all good. All right. That's 2 swings in a row where the zigzag is red. So there is a chance the heavy volume could come in, start a downtrend, or the continuation of it. Oh, that's so I'm gonna push up and stay. What are we doing? That works for me. Good thing I'm trading in an account that doesn't really matter. I'm basically, after today, I'll have like, excuse me, 6 trading days left on it. If we can have the same movement that we had today without the extremely annoying ass volatility, like there's just no middle ground. We're either sitting here super slow and choppy, or we're so volatile that you can't even like catch up to what's going on. I just want a happy middle ground. If we can have a happy middle ground, oh, things would be so great. Come on and pull back. What are we doing here? All right, here's the heavy volume here. Damn, I forgot to change the indicator to extend out to 10 o'clock. Where are we in? Oh. That's a crazy ass drop. Missed that, but I would have gotten hit with a break even right here anyway. It doesn't matter. Every time a reversal bar happens, it just slams down. You see that? Like we just close and boom, gone. Not NQ dirty trash today. No, it is. All right. So here on this trade, because of the double bottom, I wanted the volume to be heavy to try to push through that. But also in that, I wanted there to be a trap of the buyers here, especially with us being at yesterday's low, which is also another support. There's like a double support level there. And yeah, we pushed right on through. And remember, I said that if there is a trap, which there was here, since the buyers were in control of the point of control, I wanted there to be some kind of signal attached to it. Even though we don't have a delta sweep with the vertical stripe that usually shows, the D doesn't matter. D just means delta divergence, which because I'm trading on Renkos, that's going to show up on almost every reversal bar. But the P is trap traders, which obviously was a trap because the buyers are trapped up there. Even if I don't get another trade in the next 10 minutes, I think I would be okay with that. At least I've made some of this money back. Considering I was not supposed to be in that trade that I was in a double entry with, in this super high volatility where I couldn't even catch anything, to be +2 for the day, I would be okay with that. If we take away, obviously, the one where I wasn't supposed to be in. I can take that. I can take that. Doesn't look terrible on the 5-minute. It's the word. It doesn't look, yeah, it's not as bad as it's been lately. I will say that. I mean, it was moving and grooving. For sure. If I squeeze the chart a little bit, I mean, we just were on a tear down. We came up, retested VWAP, broke this little miniature pullback high right here. We still haven't broke this low down here though, so there is a chance we can accumulate and consolidate here and push up. So I won't be here to see it, but that is an option. It is an option. I mean, everything just slams down. It's ridiculous. So there, the signal was a flip. Delta flip. Oh, so I put the signals, the different signal options into ChatGPT last night, basically kind of asking it, all right, which are the signals that kind of mean the most? Because it's, at first I was giving them the different like ways of measuring delta efficiency with the options that I have in the footprint summary table. But I'm like, I'm back on bid ask. I could just try to combine what I'm doing in the process of simplifying things, combine it, and gosh, this thing on my back hurts. Put the signals in there or whatever. And so wait on this thing to, I first did the ones for the footprint summary table, not the delta signals, but just all the different options that you have. And, you know, it gave me the ones that, you know, help you to measure how quickly the market is moving, like the bar duration, delta efficiency, stuff like that. So then I told it, all right, well, I also have the option for these delta signals. Which do you think would be more efficient, more effective, easier to use, and things like that? And so it definitely said the delta signals were. And so there's like, I don't know, I would have to count. Let me see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 10 signals, but there's like 2 that I just don't pay attention to now. Like, it's just not worth it. And basically it did a breakdown of them and told me which ones would be like the most efficient, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, that was too efficient. I don't like that one. Normally that does not work out well. Maybe it'll work out well if there's a signal attached. I don't know, but that normally does not work out well. But anyway, so it basically told me that delta sweeps are super reliable, which is the stripes. It says that that signal is an impulse signal. It's good for trend continuation. And it says the reason why it's good is because there's large decisive participation. You'll usually get an immediate follow through, which obviously the immediate follow through is definitely what I need. You know, when I'm scalping the way that I'm scalping, I want price to just take the fuck off, basically. So then the next 2 were 4 out of 5 stars, which are delta rise. Technically it'll be 3 because delta rise and delta drop are basically the same thing. It's just one is for bullish trends or bullish reversal bars, one is for bearish reversal bars. Those say the delta signal is an accumulation signal, which is good for trend continuation and getting the impulse of the market quickly. Like the reversals when it's happening kind of early in the trend. 10, 5, 225. And it says it confirms delta ramping and it's good for joining mid push. What'll end up happening basically is when there's a delta drop or a delta rise, that means that for the rise, 4 bars in a row, the delta has to rise kind of in succession, essentially. Same thing for the delta drop. And then the trap, it said, is good for reversals, and shows you absorption, and it'll show you like a continuation after a fake out. And it says it tells you liquidity vacuums plus the trap side equals momentum reversals, especially if the delta is efficient at the time. So I'm definitely looking forward to going back to the signals and just using them in a different way than I was using them before. So we'll see. Ow. My shoulder just popped. Okay. All right, I got like 4 more minutes. See if I can get another decent signal. Try to make up for the stupid trade double loss. It's a pretty deep pullback, but volume is kind of heavy on it. Delta was positive anyway. All right, let's see what a counter trend pullback looks like. Buyers stepped in pretty quickly. No! All right, I'm hard stopping. All right, it is 10 o'clock. All right, let me take a screenshot of my account. Overall, not a bad day. Super high volatility. I took 3 trades. 1, 2, lost 1, but the one that I lost was a double entry by accident because I was trying to actually not be in the trade. So this is what we're looking like. Like I said, I'm only trading this account right now. Probably tomorrow no, not probably. Definitely tomorrow as well. just because it renews next Saturday. So I want to like, do my little experimentation on this particular account. And then hopefully the following week I can, or maybe like in the middle of the week, I'll feel confident because I'm not really changing anything. I'm just simplifying what I was already doing. So if I can get it simplified, feel confident in it, I'll start trading this eval again as well. But I still have $1,600 left in drawdown, so I'm not too worried about it. But hopefully tomorrow, we have some decent volatility, but not like today. I don't like trading like this. I feel like I miss a lot of stuff because things are moving too fast. Sometimes I'll sit out of stuff because I'm just like, I don't know, because I mean, the market can just literally go the opposite way so quickly. And what I don't ever want to do is get caught in a volatility spike like that, especially because lately some of those spikes causes a data lag. I don't want to be stuck in that. So it looks like we do have a speaker speaking at 8:30, and then we have Chicago PMI 8:45 tomorrow morning, both being low impact news events. But it also is a Friday. Fridays can tend to be kind of trendy, which I hate because it's usually on Fridays where when we're trending like that, we just keep making new highs or keep making new lows. But I'm hoping that that won't matter with what I'm trying to do, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, today has been crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. My bad. My bad. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Why is my screen like that? Oh, I forgot. I had to do this freaking thing in safe mode. So certain things are not working properly. My bad. I tried to show y'all my accounts. Well, I got $1,600 left in drawdown. But yeah, today has been crazy. And that just also means it's going to take me forever to journal. Because lately, like on the choppy days, there's only been like maybe, I would say 45 to 65 reversal bars. Today is probably well over that, just because of how volatile we are. And the more reversal bars we have in that short period of time, the longer it takes me to journal. So happy journaling for me. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.